Hey guys, it's Kyle here from Team Moons, and today we're going to bring another deck profile. Today we got my first place PSY-FRAME deck profile. So at locals today, I came in first place with this deck. I only lost one game, and that was to ABC, but ended up facing ABC again in the finals, and ended up taking that one. It was really long, and it was probably the hardest game of the day, but uh, ended up coming up victorious anyway. Um, I like PSY-FRAMEs a lot. They kind of fit my playstyle. They're very douchebaggy, and people hate to face them, make you seem like a prick. But they're very, very fun, and it's kind of hilarious when you get to do your plays and watch them kind of squirm in their chair. So starting off, we have pretty much three of every PSY-FRAME monster. 3 alpha, he's your searcher. 3 beta, he is your attack negator, because you're always open. 3 gamma, he's your monster effect destruction. 3 delta, he's your spell negator. 2 driver, and 1 multi-threader. At first, I was trying just 1 driver and 2 multi-threader, and just playing multiple multi-threaders and multiple drivers, like playing like up to 6. But like, I found this is the best ratio because you can always recycle these, and it's very, very rarely that you are without one of these accessible to you. So I like this ratio pretty good. I thought 2 multi-threader and 1 driver was really, really good at first, but then I found myself having 1 banish and then 1 of these or 2 of these in my deck, and I couldn't use it. So this is more situational, and this is more accessible, so that's why I bumped the ratio back up to those. You're playing 2 card Ds because you don't play on your turn, so having those is just some really strong draw power, and then 1 maxi. I was going to play more, but I found 1 was really solid. I drew it when I needed to. I wouldn't really change it. I wouldn't add any more hand traps because it's fine as is, because the whole deck's based around hand traps anyway. Next we have the spells. We got 2 PSY-FRAME Circuit. A lot of people play 3, but it's really search well off alpha, so I think 2 is fine. Perfect as is. Next you play 2 Psychic Field Zone. It's like your reverse Miracle Fusion. You can put your banished PSY-FRAMEs back in your graveyard to synchro summon with the same number of stars, so it's really, really good. 2 Psychic Path, pay 800, take 2 your PSY-FRAMEs back to your hand, basically from your banish zone, so it's really good for recycling. 2 Pot of Duality, once again you play on your opponent's turn, never on yours, so Pot of Duality is just a really good fit. And 2 Dark Hole. I would play Regeki, but I don't want to take my only one of my other deck, and Dark Hole is just as good because you're never going to have stuff on the field anyway. You're pretty much left yourself with an open field, so it pretty much acts the same way. And that's it for the spells. Next we play 2 PSY-FRAME Overload. Now this card steals game, probably the MVP of the whole deck. Banish a PSY-FRAME from your hand, banish 1 card on your opponent's side of the field, once during either player's turn. That is so strong. Like, this card steals games from any kind of deck. It's like having your trap card version Buster Dragon. And it's accessible every single turn, and you don't need to tag it out. It's just great. It's like when they made Buster Dragon, they tried to make this card and just nerf it. So next we have 2 Psychic Overload. Now this is like your Pot of Avarice for the deck. You put back 3 Psychics from your graveyard, and then you draw 2 cards, so it's even more recycling for all your PSY-FRAME hand traps. It's really, really good. It comes in handy a lot. I wasn't playing any. I was playing 1, and then I bumped up to 2 because I wanted to see it that often. Like, this card's so strong. Next, since you're playing PSY-FRAMEs, your field's always open, so you're playing 2 Drowning Mirror Force. It's really strong in this deck because you always have an open field, so sending stuff back to their deck makes them neg even harder, so you're going to win like that. Easy game. You're playing the 1 Bottomless because you're kind of like a more stun-oriented deck. And then you're playing 3 of my favorite card ever. It's 3 Floodgate Trap Hole. It's basically like a Quaking, but they don't have to attack. It's so strong. They pen 5, and all their stuff stays down and cannot move. It's just an all-around blowout card. It's impossible not to play it in this deck, I think, my personal opinion. Next, you're playing the 1 Warning and the 1 Torrential Tribute. Torrential Tribute is basically like a Dark Hole on your opponent's turn. You're never going to have stuff on the board anyway, so another board wipe is just solid. And Warning is pretty stable. And the last 2 cards in the deck, if I was going to change anything, it'd probably be these 2 cards, but it's still in testing phase. It's 2 lose 1 turn. Yes, this does hurt your deck when you synchro, but I mean, you can play around this card way easier than your opponent can. Like if I'm synchroing with PSY-FRAME Circuit, I don't have to use their effects that turn per se, but I can use the effects back on my turn anyway, so it's hardly gonna matter. This card's still in testing, but like I found it very useful in the games it did help me, but it did brick in 2 of my games today. So I mean, it's give or take. It's an easy side out if anything else. Worst case scenario. And now for the extra deck, that was 40 cards in the main. You're playing 3 PSY-FRAME Lord Zeta. He's pretty good. Like he's just one of the ones you're gonna go for most of the time anyway. So you just play 3. 1 Psychic Life Transfer. She's really strong. Helps you beat out in the grind game by keep increasing your life points. Some generic rank 7s play Black Rose Moonlight, and Odd-Eyes Meteor Burst. It's just, if you need them, they're there to go into, basically. I usually don't go into them. 2-year Boss Monster. PSY-FRAME Lord Omega. I'd probably play 3, but he's a hole in the wallet right now, so I mean 2 is just fine right now for me. It rarely comes up that I would want 3. So 2 is perfectly fine, but you're going to want to go into him pretty much every single game multiple times. Next you're playing the 1 Thought Ruler Archfiend. This stole a game for me today. It's really good for increasing life points, and anything that targets he gets over really, really powerful. And he's just a pretty good beat stick anyway. Next you're playing some generic, right? Level 8, you're playing your Scout Dragon, Colossal Fighter, Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend, yeah. Stardust Spark Dragon. Oh, not him yet. Yeah, so these are just your generic rank 8s you're going to play. Doesn't really come up often, Comes up a lot more than I think it would, actually. So many games I would just sit on this for like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 turns in defense mode, using his effect on himself to just draw cards, gain more advantage, and eventually just blow out the game that way. And this is just another board wipe card. You're not really going to go into those that much, but when you do, it usually helps. And the last card is Overmind Archfiend. He's a level 9. The only way you get him out is Psychic Field Zone with like an Omega and a level 1, or a Zeta and a level 2. He can be a pretty big blowout card when you banish a whole bunch of stuff and then he leaves and they all come back. So I mean, it's very, very strong card. It only came up twice, but like your extra deck has a lot of room anyway, so there's no reason not to run him. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck today, guys. If you liked it, you can leave a comment or a subscribe. It'd be cool. A like, anything you want. If you have any suggestions, I'm always willing to take them. I always read every single comment that's posted here. It might not be on my main, this main account that I read it. I have a separate account for my personal YouTube that I use. So I can reply to those based on which account I'm on at the time. But I always read every comment, and I do take a chance to look at everything with a grain of salt. So if you want to keep looking at some more stuff that we have there, we have a lot of different profiles. We've got some more stuff to come. Anyway, guys, that's Team Moon signing out. Thanks.